quick note, folks. So sorry. Last week was a rough one for your girl. Apologies. No episode. It was rough. You wouldn't have wanted to hear me, see me, enjoy my energy. I was laid all the way out on my floor, sleeping like a little baby in the, was it fetal position, they say? Yeah, it was bad. Congestion, lost voice, migraines for about 7 straight days. So I am sorry, but too much is popping, so we have to get to this. First and foremost, like every Monday until the show is over, and probably season 2 as well, because they can do this for over and over and over, we've got our Heat Check Winning Time recap. And good Lord, have you seen it? Still waiting. Good Lord, last night's episode of Winning Time was amazing. I was talking about it with some friends the other day, and I believe that we are experiencing a television renaissance. Like, I think we're in the golden age of television, and that includes the time period where you see The Wire and The Sopranos, and I like those 2 shows, and I like that period of time for TV, but this is on another level. The cinematography, like I've said, the music is just so good right now for TV. Just do not get me wrong. We are getting gems dropped on us for Winning Time every single week. I'm watching it, and as I'm watching it, I'm saying, holy shit, this is good. Like, this is so good. What? I said that last night 3 times in the middle of the show. Like, this is fucking awesome. I love this show, and I know not all of it's true. I don't care. The acting's great. I mean, all of it. And they don't even have to make up a fucking thing. The storyline has written itself. The history books are crazy as it is. So here's the thing. I'm not even going to, there's no spoiler alerts, really, because this is something that you can just go ahead. It's like if I did a recap on a movie about JFK. You know what's coming. Like, you know where it's going. Like, oh my God, Trysta, you spoiled the JFK ending. Folks, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? We know how it ends up. So 2 things happened last night with the 79-80 Lakers. One centers around brilliant coach Jack McKinney. No one remembers this guy, but he was one of the most innovative head coaches to face the league at that point in time. That free motion offense, he was such a salty-ass guy, too. He was like, do it over and over and over again until it's right. Close practices, pushing Jerry West out of the room, making him go and try to get Pat Riley to find him film in the back so that he could sneak in and see what was happening. The players trying to institute a coup because they weren't used to running that much and that fast, pretty much at full pace. You've got an old Kareem, basically lazy as hell because he already has 5 MVPs and is thinking about retiring from basketball altogether. And Jack McKinney's like, what the fuck? I came in here to change the league, came in here to change basketball, and these guys won't even do what I want. Got guys trying to get contracts, extensions. They're snitching on Jack McKinney to Jerry West. He's like, yo, I'm not here anymore. It's all of this. So great. So great. They were a revelation. Constant sprinting. Stuff that actually makes you think to yourself, could this particular show create a new version, a new renaissance of the point guard? Because it makes you really love the role that they have in the offense. So why hasn't anyone but old heads heard of Jack McKinney before? Really? Because 14 games into the season of the beginning of the Showtime Lakers, where the Lakers are in first place, he got into a bike accident and nearly died. The brake pads somehow seized up on him. And he just hit the brakes, fell off of his bike, no helmet, just what they call raw dog, no chaser, head to the cement, splat, stroke, and they replaced him with his assistant coach who was working for Loyola Marymount, who then ended up taking the Lakers to the promised land. They fucking fired Jack McKinney. It's cold world out here. Ain't no love in the heart of the city. What are we talking? You cannot make this up. And like last episode, we talked about how Jerry Tarkanian was quote unquote dissuaded from joining as the head coach of the Lakers. I was talking to a friend who loves hoops, and he was like, I didn't even know that. The things that went on with this Lakers team, absolutely insane. And this episode 5 revolves around Kareem. Completely around the man, the myth, the legend, who still yapping to the same, still running with the beat of his own drum to this very day. The same drum, too. Which is like, comport yourself like a professional and an activist. And anything less is disrespectful to the culture. And that includes you, LeBron James, which we'll get to right after this. So it delves into the fact that Kareem became a Muslim in college and his relationship with his working class father, right? And then it digs into the relationship between Kareem and Magic as well. Magic's coming in. He's loud. He's boisterous. He's smiling. He's dancing. He's bringing music in there. And Kareem does not like that because that makes them look like how he does not want the culture to be perceived, right? But Magic's trying to inject some life into this group, get them to win games, which is what they're supposed to be doing. And you circle back to the fact that Kareem doesn't even really want to be there in the first place. He wants to get enough money where he can ride out in the sunset and be the activist that he is, right? And he's thinking about he's at the end of his contract. Is he even going to play? And you got Magic being like, "What's up, Cap? You need some orange juice?" He's like, get this rookie out of my face, right? And he's bringing Kareem the paper every day with each section spaced out. He like orders it in Kareem's order that he wants. I want news first. I want sports last. I want science in the middle. I want fresh pressed orange juice brought to me every morning before 6 a.m. And Magic just wants to be near Kareem. He just wants to be near all that greatness. So he does all that like a puppy, excited, like a golden retriever. And the more he does, the more he tries to take the lead, the more he tries to get with Kareem, the more Kareem hates him. But they're running this new Showtime thing, right? And Kareem's, like I said, not interested in running, not interested in doing what Jack McKinney wants to do. He's already succeeded the way that he wants to, getting his 30 and 10 every single night, doing it in the low post, left hook, right hook, simultaneous, just killing in the game. But I don't want to run. No, I'm not doing all that. And Magic's like, listen, yeah, well, let's run this thing. Let's be the Showtime Lakers. So it all comes to a head where Kareem gets into the training room, pulls him aside, and he's like, listen, Magic's been trying to gain his respect and his friendship this whole time. And Kareem says, like, listen, I like your enthusiasm, but the way that you comport yourself, this is the quote from the show, and probably something like this was sort of said, right? How you comport yourself in the public eye reflects poorly on us. And he's like, what are you saying? Like, I don't act right? And he goes, no, if you want to respect, what I'm saying is if you want respect on this team, then young brother, you have to show some. And you're thinking to yourself, well, what is Magic, who's been like this lapdog? How is he going to respond? And Kareem is the captain of this team. And he goes, I have to show some respect for this team? The team that you don't even run for? I've been working my ass off to try to bring together that team? We all calling you Cap, but you're not leading shit around here. You're stopping it. We're out here running like Ferraris while your old ass is moving like a cutlass and on two flats. Everybody else is too scared to say something, but I'm saying something. And that was the defining moment. That was the defining moment where Kareem had to look inside his own self and say, what do I want for my career? And that was the moment that Magic became captain, and that is facts. Rookie with the guy who 5-time MVP, already won a ring, about to get his 6th MVP, and Magic became the captain. Are you kidding me? 20-year-old rookie's like, I do not care that you have 5 MVPs. You are not a good teammate, and you are not a good leader. And we're trying to build something here. We're number one, we could be number 1 in the league, and you're just holding us back. Could not have been more timely. And I thought to myself, this is 2 men that are doing things in 2 different ways. A stoic and a guy who wants to lead with joy. A guy that's leading with piss and vinegar and the very bare minimum and just going off of his abilities, and a guy who's working his ass off to get to the top. And Kareem is still that guy. Kareem is still calling people out for not being politically active enough, like literally yesterday. Kareem said this about LeBron, and he's done it multiple times to LeBron, by the way. Some of the things LeBron has done and said are really beneath him. He has not changed a bit. Some of the great things that he's done, he's standing on both sides of the fence. It makes it hard for me to accept that when he's committed himself to a different take on everything. It's hard to figure out where he stands. You've got to check him out every time. He's basically saying, young brother, you are not consistent. Either you're for us or you're not. He loves the fact that LeBron built a school and sent kids to college, but he doesn't like that LeBron James says cold, flu, COVID feels all the same to me. Especially when you've got vaccine hesitancy among that entire people, right? That's the demographic where vaccine hesitancy exists the most. And rural white America as well. And then earlier he said this about LeBron. For me, winning is enough. This was after LeBron James grabbed his balls. And he said, for me, winning is enough. Why do you need to do a stupid childish dance and disrespect the other team on the court? It doesn't make sense. Goats don't dance. Not everybody is you, Kareem. Not everybody is as stoic like you. Let them have some joy out there. Not only if Kareem would turn that sharp tongue on the Lakers as a whole, maybe we would get somewhere. Like maybe if he turned that on Jerry Buss's daughter, Jeannie, and Rob Pelinka and that whole crew, maybe we would get somewhere. Because the Lakers are in shambles. Brock, I am going to play this clip I made on October 26th. Let's give it a listen, huh?
The Lakers aren't good. I just need to get that out. They're not going to work. Russ and Braun and Rondo and AD on the floor at the same time. Not a good idea. Team has no defense. LeBron is the best shooter on the floor, which is, we'll call that a problem since he needs to be surrounded by shooters. And it looks ugly, truthfully. This team might mess around and not even make the playoffs, which you would just hate to see.
You would just hate to see that. My Lord, it was October 26th. The Lakers were 2-2, 4 games into the season. And come on now. Could I be any more correct? That video could have been shot today. No one likes to be right more than me. No one. What an evergreen take. Take is still exactly correct now, except for that Rondo is basically gone. Nobody wants you to know I'm right more than me, but I'm going to just keep playing these hits. You did not have to be a rocket scientist to see that this wouldn't work. It was like a plane crash. He's like falling, and you're like, I think that plane's going to crash. And it did, but everybody else was like, no, I think it's good. I think it's going to straighten itself out. The pilots look good. I predicted this team might not even make the playoffs. People were in my comments, boy. I tell you what, they were saying some wild stuff. And when I get some time, what'd they say? What are some of the hits? Let's play some of the hits. I'm not worried. Hit us up at the end of the season. Let's revisit this in a month. It's only 4 games in. Keep that same angry energy when they win the championship. Duet this video apologizing. Oh, my Lord. I can't wait to go back and get into the comment section when it's all said and done and the dirt is on their graves. They are 2 games out of the 10 spot right now. 2 games out of the 10 spot in the West and a play-in game. We've got Anthony Davis saying, well, if we had Kendrick Nunn, we don't even know what we could have been. Excuse me? Folks, that is a troll. That's what I say as a troll. You can't really assess this Laker team until Kendrick Nunn is on the floor. You can't actually use that as a real logical argument. Kendrick Nunn is a mid-level exception. If you're basing your championship run on a mid-level exception, we got fucking huge problems here. So, yeah, the season went exactly pretty much how I thought 4 games in, and also when they made this trade to begin with. I cannot wait to go back to the old comments and reply. I cannot wait. I will spend as much time as I need taking a victory lap. Man, Kareem, help those boys. Help those boys out there.